With everything going on with the Washington Commanders, from Terry McLaurin signing his contract extension, the Washington Commanders' initial 53-man roster, and the practice squad being revealed, I had to go out and get some help from the heavy hitters. My guy Ed Oliver and Louie T is awaiting. Let's get to it.
Shout out to Juan Gotti Talking Sports. You know what it is. Shout out Juan Gotti Talking Sports.
The way that we live is not for everybody, man.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries? Like,
stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard.
Fellas, what is going on? How y'all doing tonight? Got my guy Louie T and Oliver, the Commanders Kings. At least part of y'all are joining me tonight. What's up, fellas?
Doing well, man. Appreciate you for having us on.
Yeah, definitely. I thank you for taking your time out tonight. Hey, what's up with you? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I love that intro, man. It's so funny that it took Adam Rank off the if you saw the NFL predictions already, they took him on. He's not on the predictions anymore.
About time. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I've always felt like they kept him on because of the clicks, because they knew he was going to say some foolishness.
Right.
So it's kind of bold of them to finally take him off of that show. But fellas, I do want to start with asking about the special event that you all just had, man. It definitely, from the outside looking in, looked like a ball. So Lou, I'll start with you. Just talk a little bit about it. I know you enjoyed yourself and probably talked about it many a times, but I also want to hear it up close and personal.
Man, it was a time. I mean, my voice is still recovering from that event. It was so cool to see so many people come out and support the event, taking pictures, chopping it up with them, talking to them. You know, just being in that environment was electric. And that energy that you get from the crowd, and we were engaging with them. We were asking them about the 53-man roster, how they felt about players, how they felt about the schedule. We went through the games, and it was just such a thrilling experience, one that we're going to try to replicate, but it's nothing like the first one. Everything didn't go off without a hitch. You know, there were some hiccups, but all in all, man, it was a tremendous experience, one that I'll never forget. It was absolutely exhilarating.
That sounds great. Hey, what about you? What was your thoughts on the event?
No, it was awesome. I mean, just to be with Lou and Rio and Rico, I mean, just it's just awesome, man. Signing autographs was a crazy experience, man. I saw you sign some autographs at training camp, so that was cool too. Yeah, we signed autographs, just taking pictures, selfies with people, seeing people that you know, we just haven't put like a name to a face, you know. Face. So that was crazy, you know, because we've been in the game for 8 years. I've been in the game for 8 years. Lou's been in the game for a long time. You've been in the game for YouTube game for a long time. There's people that you talk to in the comments for years and years and years that you finally get to meet after all these years. So to be in that space, in that place, and to meet people that you've seen for a long time, it's a humbling experience, man. So it will many more. And the pictures together that we have, the memories that we made, just a crazy experience, man. And just to have an environment like that, it's hard to describe in words. It really is, man. It's just a fun experience.
Yeah. That's dope, man. That's dope. Lou, let me ask you this quickly before we get into the show. And then if you got one for me, you can say the same thing. If there's one person that showed up after many years of talking through them to a computer screen in the comments, and you finally got to see him, and it was like, wow, it's so good to see you. Or like, dang, this is really, who would that person be for you?
So I met my guy Mega. So Mega we've been chopping it up for years, and he was a big part of the Discord. And I have a Discord that I'm rarely in it, but they created it and it took off on a life of its own. It's called the Cherry Squad, because it started with us talking about cherry Kool-Aid, which I said is disgusting. Black cherry Kool-Aid, anything cherry flavored is nasty for the most part. And so they ran with it. It turned into this big thing, and they've created these excellent relationships. Like they're really friends outside of this now because of it. And it's this little clique that's in there. We're really tight. And my wife even reached out to them, and they did like this happy birthday to me like a couple years back. It was dope, and it caught me off guard. And he was one of the people, so it was cool to finally meet him. And it was dope chopping it up with him. That was really fun, man. It was good. And like Ed said, that's one of my favorite things is somebody that you talk to all the time. You've been talking to them for years. Now you can actually put a face to that name. It's dope.
Hey, what about you? You got one?
With me, I think it was one guy named Rob, but there's so many people. Swaggy P was pretty cool. He's on Lou's channel a lot.
Yeah, that's my guy. I met him at the watch party, so he was really excited to meet Ed though.
Yeah, so he was funny, and it's so funny. Like his nephew was happy to get a Defenders koozie. We did giveaways, so like he for like stuff like that. So just even stuff like that, like the giveaways. I heard somebody was emotional about getting a Jaden Daniels jersey.
Hey, she refuted that, bro.
Oh,
he left it in the comment section. He's like, I wasn't crying. He's like, I wasn't crying. I was just excited. Nothing like that's ever happened to me before. He was not going for the crying stuff, though. He's like, nah, don't put that on me.
Yeah, and then the intros were insane too.
Yeah,
man.
they were, man.
So I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting the fire, so that surprised me. The intros, the huddle, like just the pictures, like that are on, and the pictures are crystal, super professional clear. So even that is amazing. The vlogging, the cut ups, like. Yeah. I know the next time I know the guys have been joking about like behind the scenes and stuff like that. Maybe we'll get something like that in there. Bernie Mac, rest in peace, Cedric the Entertainer, stuff like that. So like, even stuff like that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was dope.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. They said y'all was coming out like 05 Brock Lesnar. You know what I'm saying? Triple H, Batista, somebody like that.
Yeah.
Nah, that's dope, man. That was very very good to see, and I'm glad you guys enjoyed yourself, and most importantly was safe throughout the whole entire event. So that's dope, and we look forward to seeing those Commander Kings link up again. Got my guy Rico all the way from Atlanta. That's how you know you're doing something.
Yeah, for sure, man. That was my first time meeting all of them. I hadn't met any of them in person, so I was excited to see all of them, meet them, and they were even more, cool in person than they were, just talking to them. So my wife was like, well, how are they in person? I'm like, man, I felt like I've known them my entire life. That's how cool the vibe was. So it was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll get to now more of present day news about the squad man, it's here. It's here now. Yeah. The Terry press conference, I still haven't quite indulged in it in its full capacity yet. Yeah. But Lou, I mean, I'll start with you here. Once he signed, it was good. Like, don't get me wrong, I was like, yes, excited. I was super excited. But today, and obviously with the date on the schedule being basically 2 weeks away or a little bit under, it felt normal. It felt like football. It felt like a regular Wednesday press conference from Terry. And I'm like, this is what it's supposed to feel like. And of course, you see the picture of JD5 and Terry, and it's like, we're so back. Like, it just feels right, Lou. So just talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy how spoiled we've gotten in just a little bit under 2 years, right? Because a year ago, we didn't have the conversations about normalcy, right? Like if we did, we just wanted some because we were so not used to having it, right? Like now, because of last year and what it established, we want normalcy because last year was all about football. It was nothing but football. We had no distractions. This offseason, same thing. We had nothing but great news from the draft coming in a couple of years to, the stadium basically coming back to RFK to, all of the things that were going on here that were positive for this organization. And yet this Terry thing seemed to just crop up. And it's been a distraction. It doesn't matter how you view it. It's been a distraction, but I knew once he signed, it'd be all good vibes again. And having him back in the building, officially, like he's been in the building, but back on the practice field, signing his deal, like you said, it kind of it felt like, and I said this, It felt like the whole entire offseason and preseason combined was at 98%. And it couldn't get to the finish, 100% loading bar. It couldn't get all the way to 100 and be complete without Terry getting his deal. That was the only thing stopping this from being at 100%. And soon as he got his deal, it went to 100%. And it was like we were back to where we should have been all along. He's smiling. Like you said, Jaden's smiling. Everybody's happy. And now we ready to try to go do something that most of the fans of this team have never seen them do, and that's chase a chip. Like, I can't tell you the last time, or I actually can, but the last time we were anywhere near Super Bowl, Super Bowl contenders was the 2000 season. Like, this is incredible that, this team has such high aspirations and goals set for itself, and also have such expectations set for them outside of the building. I'm dying to see if they can live up to it. And it feels like now we can go about the business of trying to live up to those expectations now that Terry has been signed, and it's, business as usual.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Ed, before you go, I just want to say this. I've been humble all season long. But I last night when I was talking to Lake Lewis Jr., I finally popped it. I said, I don't know. I don't think the Giants are prepared for what they walking into week one. I tried to be humble and say the Giants got a good defense. You can't sleep on them. Russell, I don't think they're prepared for what they're walking in week one, because not only just from the team being prepared, getting Terry back is cool, but I'm talking about from a fan atmosphere. Lou, I went to week 2 opener last year. Austin Saubert's 7-game, field goal win and whatnot. But no one knew what we were. We were still looked at as an up-and-coming franchise, and it was still a lot of Giants fans. Wasn't really super loud. But week 1, I think it's gonna be 100% Commanders fans. Now, obviously, you'll have some Giants in it, but what I mean. Like, last year was just the preview of how this is gonna be on every home game week basis. And I mean, I was at both preseason games, specifically the Bengals one. Man, when Jaden and the starting O walked out there, man, you would have thought it was a regular season game.
Yeah,
when Debo took that end around, Lou. And I'm telling you, I'm sitting there like, hold on, is it September or is it August?
Right.
You know what I mean? That whole drive just felt like a movie, man. And then to cap it off with the JD5 touchdown, the place just erupted.
You could hear it through the television, bro. I was like, they know it's August 18th, right? And not September 18th. They do know that, right? Because it was so loud. Even the announcers, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, were like, whoa, like, this place is going crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can feel it through the TV. It's not often that I say that, but you definitely, for a preseason game, that was great.
I hope 5 knows how much he means to this fan base. Like this dude has single-handedly has took a fan base and just gave it hope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We love him. But Ed, I'm gonna let you go ahead talk a little bit about this Terry news today. How does it feel to finally got 1-7 back where he belongs?
Oh, it's great, man. Finally the negotiating is over, and the going back and forth and trade requests and where's Waldo, all that's finally resolved. We got him back there. The ankle is fine. I mean, we knew the ankle was fine anyway, but now he's out there running routes. Not only him, but Noah Brown too, man. So it's good to see both those guys back on the field, man. It's about time. And then the season starting, man. So the ramp up period, we got to he's out there, getting him back in shape. But we know that he was working out with Jaden in the bubble, allegedly, but which was probably true.
Right.
But it's good to see our wide receiver 1 back out there, our second team All-Pro, man. It was great to see that video of him and his wife walking into Commander's Park. And celebrating with Adam and putting pen to paper. So, man, I know Jaden's super ecstatic and super happy to have that guy back out there, man. So this offense we were top 10, top 5 last year. Offense. I know we were top 5 in rush yards, but I think once again we're gonna have a top 10 offense with that guy out there. Beautiful picture in the background. I thought they did a great job with the production and everything. And just very, very well done.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and then like Lou said yesterday, he's smiling again. You know what I mean? Look, so many people really thought this relationship right here was fractured, man. And it's like, come on, man. It's business. But yeah, I mean, having him back, just like I said, it feels normal and it feels right. Not a thought in my mind with the request of a trade and whatnot. It still never felt like Terry McLaurin was going anywhere. And it was kind of funny because we used to do this as fans all the time, but it was kind of funny seeing other teams fans make swaps of Terry in a Patriots jersey and I'm like, he's not going anywhere, right? But you can dream. Yeah. I'll let you dream, but it was crazy. But yeah, so now we can get more into I wanted to actually bring up the contract because for me, when I first saw the contract details yesterday, or when we, I guess, didn't really have them all out, it was like 3 years, 96. But then today you come out and you see not only is it 44 guaranteed, but it's like 29 AAV, and it's like almost a 1 year deal aspect or year by year deal. Ed, do you know anything about the specifics and the details as I pull it up that you kind of want to touch on?
Yeah, so there's a lot to it. And, I'm not the person who's going to say who won, who lost. Everybody won. Jaden Daniels won, Cliff won, Terry won, Buddy Baker won, Adam won, the whole organization won. So I'm not going to get into who won or whatever stuff like that. But I will say Adam Peters, if you had to say somebody kind of had like the last say or upper hand, I kind of would go with Adam Peters. But I mean, 29 mil base is great. I think that's a darn good deal. I do think 44 million fully guaranteed at signing compared to some of the other receivers. I thought he was going to get a little bit higher than 44, but I still think, I mean, come on now, $44 million guaranteed and a $30 million signing bonus. I mean, like, how can you not be happy with that? So the AAV is about 29 mil, which is 10th among wide receivers. I'm looking at some of the tweets and stuff that people put out. But the incentives too. So of course they first, what they said, 3 years, 96 mil. It can be up to 96 mil. And everybody's saying that's like a victory lap that they let Buddy Baker have to start off. And then until they came up with the full details, that's when we get the real deal and everything. So that's basically what we got today.
Yeah.
But even after that, I think it's a darn good deal. Looking at some of the incentives, though, I think some of the incentives is kind of where Adam Peters got a little shrewd with it. So if you look at the incentives in 2025, and I don't know if you have this one, but Albert Breer tweeted this out about 10 hours ago. So the incentives to get up to that would help him get to the 96 mil. So they put $300,000 for 83 catches. And
if you make the playoffs.
Right, and then 600,000 for 83 in the playoffs. And then if you look at Terry's stats, he's only gotten 83 catches one time in his career. So I thought that was a little bit of a
I think that was the Heineke year in 21, if I'm not mistaken.
2020, 87 catches. Then this past year he had 82. So I think it was a little bit of a shrewd.
They were calculated with that 83.
I think it was a little shrewd move there by Adam. And honestly, I don't think Terry's going to get 83 catches either. I think he's going to kind of be similar to what he's done, around 80, 75, and then that normal 1,100 kind of yard thing. I think that's what he's going to get. And then they put second team All Pro in there, first or second team, a $500,000 escalator. So I think some of the incentives were a little bit. I even hate to say shrewd, but I do think they definitely calculate like he's probably not going to get 83. If they would have put like a bonus for him getting 1,000 yards, like I think Mike Evans might have like an 1,000-yard kicker or something like that. He just keeps getting 1,000 yards over and over again. If they would have said like 1,000 yards, and obviously Terry would get that bonus, but they set it at 83, which is like if you're a betting guy, you would definitely take the under on 83, which I probably will. But I'll take the over on this with 1,000 receiving yards. So those are some things that stood out to me. But other than that, I think it was very reasonable. He didn't get – so he got above T. Higgins. He got above Jalen Waddle. So he got the wide receiver one money that they're looking for because I think Buddy and Terry really stuck on getting receiver one money. They didn't want to have anything below T. Higgins.
Right.
They didn't want to get anything below Jalen Waddle because they look at those guys as wide receiver number twos. Even though if T. Higgins went to the Patriots, he'd be wide receiver number one. If Jalen Waddle went to the Patriots, he'd be wide receiver number one. So, but he is below Ayuk, which I thought he should have been higher than Ayuk with the base. Tyreek is at 30. and Armand Ra's at 30. So there are little gripes here and there, but like I said, it's kind of it gets to a point where it's like, man, like they got to 29, and we heard reports that they could get to 28, so they went above that, and then there's reports that they wanted above DK, so they got below that. So they met in the middle, kind of. I think both teams. I think both sides won, and but I do think Adam kind of got the. I'll just say last say. I'm not even gonna say upper hand or last laugh. I'm gonna just say Adam got the last say. You can tell in the guarantees and some of the incentives that Adam got the last say, but they clearly everybody won.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was great points that you made. Lou, I'll go to you. From your initial thoughts about the contract when we first all seen it, before the details came out yesterday, and to actually seeing the full contract details, has anything changed for you, or what's your overall thoughts about it?
I knew something, like I knew the numbers weren't going to be favorable for, the perception of Terry, killing it or whatever, because it said up to 96 million. And usually if the numbers are great for the player, all the information comes out immediately. And we sat on that information for basically 2 days before they put all of this out. So I think to Ed's point, Buddy Baker got to take a victory lap for a couple days, but everybody that understood the game and how the game's played saw that up to 96, and it was like, okay, we gonna see what the real number is. And I knew it couldn't come in any less than 28.5 because that's what T. Higgins was making, and he's the number one, number 2 receiver, right? He's the highest paid number 2 receiver in the NFL. So I knew it was going to be above 28.5. I just didn't know how high. They got it at 29, and it could get up to 30, 30 plus with the incentives, as Ed said. But I mean, you got to have some serious seasons, all pro or Pro Bowl. I think it's like first or second team all pro is one of the incentive kickers. To Ed's point, you got to make the playoffs to make an extra 300,000 K, and then you got to hit the incentive kicker first, which is the catches, the yards, and the touchdowns. And then if they make the playoffs, you add an additional 300 K to it. So he could do that. He's capable, but they definitely structured the deal in a way that gives them an opportunity to not have to pay as much, but also gives him an opportunity to and he gets rewarded for having a big season and contributing to this team's success. So it worked out for all parties involved. And now I'm just glad he's back where he belongs. And I don't think this is his last deal either. I think there's another deal after this for Terry. So, I'm just excited that there's a chance he can finish his career where it started, because that's what's supposed to happen.
Definitely. And this is something, me looking at the Albert Breer breakdown, this is something that I really never looked into, or like kind of realized how deep these contracts truly are. You wonder why you get the week 16 and 15 and you got Tom Brady out there trying to get his receiver an extra 10 yards, because it's like he got 300K is still left on the table. So
Absolutely.
it's kind of great to see this breakdown. One thing I'll say is, shoot, I wish I can go out there and make 300K off of 83 catches. I swear I'd do it. You know what I mean? But all in all, it's great to get it done. We're all excited, and it's finally over, and he should be here where he's at. And as you said, Lou, when it's all said and done, 17, and this is crazy, which it may not be crazy for you all to understand, because I didn't see that many greats in my lifetime. But could you believe that Terry McLaurin is already my favorite Washington Redskin Commander football team player of all time, and probably dare I say, the greatest I didn't seen in my lifetime? Is that too early to say?
That's not a shock. Given your age and what you've had to put up with, your entire life. Yeah, I'm not shocked by that. Like, Trent Williams was the one guy that had a chance to be a Hall of Famer in your lifetime, and they messed that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Terry is such a likable dude on all fronts. He's not just a good player, he's a great player in terms of what he's had to endure here and still find a way to produce every year, and then to turn around and just be the consummate professional, as they like to say, but a great dude in the locker room, a great guy off the field. And I mean, every year he would win the Mr. Nice Guy award, or whatever they call it. The media gives the player that is the easiest for them to interview every year. And last year, Bobby Wagner took the crown from him for the first time in like 3-4 years. So like, he's just a great dude. Like, his press conference today, I'm like, boy, Terry loved to talk. 26 minutes, bro. Like, that was longer than Adam Peters and DQ press conference from today. You know, like, but that's just Terry, bro. He's just a good dude, man. So I get it. I get it.
I can't wait to actually sit down and watch all 26 minutes of that. But yeah. So Ed, this is for you right here. My guy Door Gunner. He says Hartman and Ed have the same arm. Ed to the practice squad. Ed, I think you could beat out. I think you could beat him out.
I would say, don't disrespect Door Gunner, man. Come on, I can say the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in my life.
Man,
that ain't a compliment to Ed. That's a shot at Ed. Ed arm stronger than Hartman. Now, I just got to make sure Ed can grip the football, because he was throwing a Nerf football. It was a youth size football, so I just got to.
I got people that can vouch for me.
I think Ed, I think you can do it. I think. I mean, we seen it up close and personal, Ed. But I mean, looking back at the all 22s, man, it was just.
Look,
oh man, he was bad this preseason.
The screen pass that Sam Hartman threw to Luke McCaffrey that set him up in that Patriots game. Come on, I would do way better than that.
Bro, that pass was so far backwards, I thought it was a double pass. It was so bad. It looked like Luke had to be throwing that again, because there's no way you threw the ball 5 yards into the backfield like that. It's crazy.
It's bad, and we ain't gonna speak on Sam Hartman because he's back. If he wasn't a Commander anymore, we probably would have some more words to say about it, but at least from his performance wise, because it was so bad in that Ravens game. Just one play that stuck out to me was Ja'Cory Brooks was screaming right across his face on a drag route, literally in his face. And he's not even looking at him, and it's no pressure. It's nothing to make him not view him, because he's like, hello, I'm right here. And that play ended in a sack. And I'm just like, what's going on? And then even the deep shot to Ja'Cory Brooks, he doesn't even give him a chance to make a play on the ball. It just sails out of bounds. And I'm just like, Sam, like, this wasn't you last year versus the Jets, man. Like, you know, but
he was better last year. I was surprised how much he regressed, because he actually looked like a backup last year. Like, he actually made some plays last year. I'm surprised he was that bad.
I think his confidence took a hit in that Patriots game. I don't think he recovered. If I blame this on Chris Moore, he's back too. So
when I saw that, I was pissed.
No justice. No justice.
I will say though, Lou and Ed, I don't even know if it was the Patriots game, because I was out at Ashburn 3 times today. I mean, this summer, and he did not look good in none of the practices. And it was this one play, I think it was to Luke McCaffrey in the back of the end zone. I could be wrong on the target, but it was just such a poor pass, and the fans let him have it, and all you see was him put his head down, shaking. So even before preseason started, he was already pretty much down. If confidence was the reason, he already looked shaky throughout camp anyway. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to him, but
I was there too on July 29th when he threw the interception to
Kane Madrano.
Yeah, threw it right to him. Kane Madrano made a good play, and Cliff called him out too. He said he was really inconsistent. He called him out, I think, for the first preseason game, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he's got the yips, but you know, as long as Jaden's here, he'll be here. Jaden just has that much pull and that much authority. Now, of course, he's not making GM moves or nothing, but he's clearly Sam is clearly here because of Jaden.
He's his basketball warm-up guy.
Definitely. Door Gunner says, thank you again for the super chat. He says, wanted to retire my leg, but this year, guess not. And as Louie, as you often say, keep that thing warm, man, because we don't know. And I said this all the time. I even going back to the Dustin Hopkins days, and I stand by this regardless of how our kicking future looks. You always need to bring in competition for your kicker through our training camp. Even if you don't plan on moving on from your kicker, make him earn it. Keep his iron sharp. And I think we get too comfortable allowing these kickers to just lax through training camp. And they're going to stick by Matt Gay, but as you all know, and I'm pretty sure you all probably look at him with the side eye too a little bit, he's off to a shaky start, Lou.
Right. Facts. I mean, the narrative on him was, hey, anything under 50, he should be good. But I mean, you want to know that if you put your kicker out there for a 50-plus yard field goal, he's capable.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2 years, he's just been awful from 50-plus. I mean, basically all of his misses last year came from over 50 yards. Not basically, all of his misses from of field goals last year were from 50 or more. And he's already missed from 50 this year. He missed from 49 this year. So, like, there's little to no confidence from the fan base. They wanted him to come in here and put them at ease going into the regular season, and he did the polar opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ed, you got anything you want to add on to that? How are you feeling about Matt Gay? Are you looking at him with the side eye, or are you kind of giving him some leeway?
Yeah, you have to. And we talked about this on the King stream on Monday, the last time we had a stream, I think, or Sunday, no, Monday, of how he'll miss the kick and then the opponent kicker will blast from like 60 yards away to make it look even worse. And then we got the Jaguars kicker, whichever kicker it was.
It was Jags. 70-yarder,
70-yard kick. So it's just like we're looking at other teams' kickers make long kicks. And then the kickoffs, I don't know if Dan Quinn was instructing him to kick it a certain way, but it's a little short. So I guess we'll get that out the way and get that get acclimated to that before the Giants game or whatever. But yeah, no, it's definitely concerning. We have PTSD, and we had a guy, Zane, he was very iffy too. So I'm not advocating to bring him back, but just in case, you never know. Now, Dustin Hopkins, speaking of Dustin Hopkins, I think he was released today. His contract was terminated. There's some other kickers that were terminated as well and released. So there are some out on the market, but Dan Quinn sounds like he doesn't want to mess with his confidence, which I definitely understand that too. And they just paid him the highest guaranteed salary in the history for a 1-year deal. But yeah, no, let's see how these first 3 games go. And if he misses a 45-yarder against the Giants, knock on wood, or a 48, 49, 50, whatever, because the weather's going to be good on September 7th. Like it's going to be fine. This is how DC, PG County weather is. There's not going to be, and then he missed kicks in good weather too. It's not like it was windy or rainy against the Ravens. The Patriots game, the weather was good in Foxborough for that night as well. So those are the concerns to me too. It hasn't been windy. It hasn't been rainy. But I say give them the first quarter of the season, first 4 games, and let's see. And then after that, you got to bring somebody in.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think also what kind of made me feel more worse, as you guys already alluded to. Flip side, you got Tyler Loop banging it home from 60+ with ease, and it's just like you go from Justin Tucker to this. Like, can this please be us one day? It's crazy.
Yeah, we can't. I mean, at some point you got to invest in one of these young boys. You know what I mean? The Jags, Cam Little, they drafted him last year, 70-yarder. You said Tyler Loop, 61 yards, right? Like they drafted him this year. At some point, you don't know if you're gonna strike it rich or not, but you got to at least try. You know what I mean? These Band-Aid solutions with kickers who already been in the league, a lot of times they've been in the league and bounced around for a reason. So I just wanted to get a guy and just have a guy and not have to worry about this every year. It feels like we swapping out kickers every single year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've been wanting us to draft a kicker since Ron days. Since the Dustin Hopkins early days, the Joey Slides, the Chris Blewitts, who was the one guy that banged home the win against the Raiders under Ron a few years ago. I can't think of his name. But that guy, he lasted all but a few weeks. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we have not invested in this kicking game at all. So I guess we can't be shocked at the outcome that we're getting. We just got to hope that Matt Gay is the fix. Corin Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, sup, Gotti, OG here, but the 92 Super Bowl was priceless. I bet it was. I wish I had some type of memory. I wish I was around for that Super Bowl, but unfortunately I wasn't.
I was a little tight, man. I was running around in my Mark Rippon Hutch helmet and my Mark Rippon starter jersey.
I was not alive.
Show my age.
I was not alive yet either, but I got to see the highlights.
Corin says, didn't think it would take this long to get back, but I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna finish more to that sentence. But we back though. I'm gonna add that to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, we're back, man, and it definitely feels good. It feels good.
It does.
But fellas, I did want to talk a little bit about this roster, and then we'll get to the jersey numbers and whatnot, because a lot of people have questions about not only the jersey numbers but the roster. And as you alluded to, Ed and Lou, like kind of this roster wasn't hard to predict per se, but there were some shockers, in my opinion, i.e. Ja'Cory Brooks. In my opinion, I felt like the 5 receivers were cool because no one separated themselves in training camp, as we know, none of the veterans. But I felt like if you were going to keep 6, if there was a 6th guy, it was him. And for me personally, not just because of the production that he did put up with the bad QB play, but I felt like you had a good chance to even it out. It's rare that you go into a season truly with 5 guys, and maybe they get a Kendrick Bourne who's released and has ties to the 49ers and Adam Peters. Maybe they go out and get him, but 6 receivers feels like a comfortable thing for me. And it just felt right because you got 3 vets in Debo and Terry and Noah Brown. And then you had a chance to get Jalen Lane and Luke McCaffrey and Ja'Cory Brooks, having kind of that even out young guy, vet guy kind of room. But he didn't make this roster, ultimately coming back on the practice squad. But Lou, you could start there with the wide receiver position, as people in the comments, that's the number 1 guy that they're bringing up. Ja'Cory Brooks, how did he not make it?
I didn't think he was supposed to make the team. I had 5 receivers. I didn't think anybody stepped up to the level that they were required to be the 6th receiver on this team. When you look at how things shaped out in camp and how things went during the preseason games, and I feel bad for some of the skill position guys because the quarterback play was so bad that it might have hindered some of their ability to produce. But at the end of the day, they were with these guys every day in the summer. Ja'Cory Brooks was inconsistent. He'd make a great catch and then he'd have a drop. And that was the story of him all summer. And so while he was really good in the preseason games when he got an opportunity, ultimately, that's a guy you can get on the practice squad. You didn't need to hold a roster spot hostage for Ja'Cory Brooks right now. Get him on the practice squad, continue to let him grow. And next year, there may be a roster spot with his name on it. But right now, I didn't feel like there was a 6th receiver. And really, if you're going to have a 6th receiver, you want that guy to have real value for you, either on special teams or a guy that can actually contribute on the field as a receiver, which I don't really feel like they think he can do at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and Ed, you can kind of allude to this point, but that's probably why they also brought back Chris Moore, so they maybe call him up if need be, and they think he provides you with what you just said, Lou, that veteran presence of having the ability to step in and actually do something on field, although we clearly know he can't.
Yeah.
Ed, you got anything you want to add to that?
The receivers, yeah, no, Lou said agree. I mean, 5 receivers. I do agree with you though. I did have Ja'Cory Brooks making a roster. I think the addition of Josh Johnson, kind of the numbers game, I think that kind of pushed Ja'Cory out. I think what they could have did was have Ja'Cory on the roster, kind of like they did Byron Pringle, and then release him. But they didn't pick Byron Pringle back up.
Right.
I think they just wanted Ja'Cory Brooks to just immediately be on the practice squad because they felt like nobody was going to claim him, and that ended up being true. That nobody claimed him, so that's good. They still have him in their developmental program, but yeah, no, I mean, even like I'm not going to call out Luke or anything like that, but you know, even him, it was to a point where and Lou's right too, man. So I'm gonna leave Luke alone. The quarterback play wasn't great. They didn't get a lot of opportunities. So I'll say that too. But once again, Chris Moore, he really should not. He should not be on the practice squad. Like, he should not be on there. I'm not sure if KJ Osborne has been picked up. He's not on the practice squad either. But it looks like they're not going to bring him back either. He didn't play well either. So, yeah, I mean, nobody. Tay Martin, I think he's on the practice squad, I think.
Correct.
And he had some moments. He had better moments than KJ Osborne. He had better moment. He played better than Chris Moore. He honestly played just as good as Luke McCaffrey. I thought Ja'Cory Brooks had a better showing than Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He was more consistent. He was the better. He led the team in receiving yards against the Patriots. And he was just more consistent catching the football when it came his way in contested catch situations as well. So, yeah, I mean, and then Braylon didn't get a lot of opportunities. I'll throw Braylon in there too. And I think Braylon's on the practice squad, if I'm not mistaken. He may not be on there. I'll double check.
So I'm looking at it right now. No Tay Martin and no Braylon Sanders.
Okay. So that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for my guy Braylon and those guys. But yeah, so 5 is about right. I would have loved just the story for Ja'Cory Brooks to make it on there because I thought he played well, and there were times where he had to be wide receiver one, not wide receiver 1, but like wide receiver 2 for the joint practice because we didn't have Terry, we didn't have Noah, so it was Debo, and then he was literally the second target out there, and then he made the one-handed catch in the joint practice as well. So I thought he had some really good moments. Went to Louisville. What was he? A 5-star recruit too, so he has that pedigree kind of similar to like Alex Cahoe, just 5-star recruits that went to Alabama. But no, it's good to have him in the building. I think that's great. But 5 is fine. We just didn't have a lot of depth there at receiver.
Yeah, great point. And I think only other thing with the offense that I would personally touch, like in terms of addressing now, because everything else looks fine. I was really surprised that they kept 3 quarterbacks, and I know Lou, you alluded to don't get comfortable with Josh Johnson. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Yes, bring back Taylor Heineke. He just got released. I haven't heard nobody bring up his name, so I'm gonna say it tonight, and I'm gonna make a video on it because yes. You got nothing to lose. He's better than Josh Johnson at this point of his career. Unc ain't got it no more. I'm sorry. Like that arm ain't got it no more. You know what I mean? And then with Marcus Mariota's Achilles tendonitis, you don't know when that's going to act up. And Tyler Huntley just got picked up, I believe, right? With the Ravens. Went back to Ravens today. Yeah. So I'm going to just say it, man. Go get Taylor Heineke. Bring him home, man. I think you should because is that like the only serviceable other option at this point? I mean, Jeff Driscoll's still out there, and he kind of made no Cliff's offense a little bit better. But I'm gonna bang the table for my guy TH, man.
There's a lot of people trying to advocate for him to come back home, but I'm good on Heineke. But hey, to each its own, man. If they wanted to bring him home, they could. But remember, this group has nothing to do with Taylor Heineke. So. They could care less about what he was here, a few years ago. But I wouldn't have any issues with it because, to your point, he's way better than Josh Johnson and Sam Hartman.
I mean, and just kind of just to ask you all this question about that's why I was so heavy about the QB3 battle or so invested because I'm like, well, Mariota's a veteran. He's older. He's always had kind of a rocky injury history. They say he's good. He should be ready for week 1. But at the end of the day, the truth is he's one snap away from having to come in. So how concerned are we with this Achilles tendonitis thing? That's why I wanted Sam Hartman to show something so bad. That's why I wanted Josh Johnson to be like, hey, I got it if something went down, but it ain't 2018 no more, Unc. And I ain't forget about that Titans game. But hey, I'm gonna let you chill. I'm gonna let my chill on you.
Yeah. It's definitely not 2018. And look, I got confidence in Marcus based off of what he did last year. And so his ability to pretty much get no reps in the preseason last year. He had 1 possession versus the Jets. He was injured most of the summer. We saw a bunch of Jeff Driscoll and Sam Hartman. Hell, I was even saying Jeff Driscoll should be QB2 last year. That's how
I was too.
good he looked in the preseason. And, lo and behold, Marcus Mariota was ready when his number was called and was outstanding and led us to 2 victories. When Jaden Daniels either didn't have his fastball, didn't need it in week 18, obviously, and then got injured against Carolina. So I got the utmost confidence that Mariota will come in and play well when his numbers is called. Hopefully it's not called at all unless we blowing somebody out. But I have no confidence. I have the utmost confidence, rather.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of his play, of course, right? Like I'm right there with you. But in terms of this injury, and now we don't know because we're not him. But like, do you have some slight concern that it may linger throughout this year?
No, I don't. And but the biggest thing is just time, right?
Right.
And as long as Jaden stays healthy, it's going to give him even more time to heal, right? So I feel good that time is going to heal that situation. Now if something would have happened to Jaden early in the season, then you probably could be a little bit more concerned. But our hope is to keep 5 upright and playing ball all year and not even have to worry about Marcus seeing the field.
For sure. Ed, what you gonna add to that? Bring Taylor Heineke home, right? That's what we talking about, right?
No, I'll pass on Taylor. I do like Taylor Heineke. I've always liked the way he plays, his moxie, his toughness. He's a gamer, all that good stuff. I was always supporting Taylor Heineke. I remember the Browns game. I wanted him to start over Carson Wentz, but Ron started Carson Wentz. That was a terrible decision. So I always respect Heineke's game. I am disappointed they didn't bring in Tyler Snoop Huntley. I thought they should have brought him in because I thought he fit the system and being a mobile dual threat quarterback. I thought they could have added him to the practice squad just like the Ravens did. I think that would have been a no-brainer. I would have definitely did that. I rather would have did that than bringing in Taylor Heineke. The only reason why I would not bring in Taylor Heineke, and even the Taylor Heineke Colt stands, Jaden is so good to the point where even the Taylor Heineke stands, like they know their place with that. Where any other quarterback that we've had in the past, if they made a mistake, they would be like Taylor Heineke. They would never do that to Jaden Daniels. So that's one reason why you could bring him in, because he still has that strong stand fan base. But to your point, practice squad, third string guy, I think that's probably his best role right now. Nobody's really counting on who's the best quarterback 3 in the NFL, but he probably would be the best quarterback 3 in the NFL. It doesn't really matter or mean anything. But I still wouldn't bring him in. But yes, he would be a huge upgrade over Josh Johnson, huge upgrade over Sam Hartman for sure. But I wish Taylor the best. He's definitely gonna get picked up. Somebody's gonna pick him up. He's gonna latch on somewhere.
All right, sounds good. And time check, fellas. Y'all gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, we got to bounce here in a little bit. Did you have another topic you wanted to get
I was just gonna get to the because defensively we could talk about that, but I was really just gonna get to the jersey numbers because people had questions about it.
But let's do it real quick. We got about 5 more minutes.
All right, cool. Let me bring up these right quick.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say about Taylor while you bring up your stuff is that you could dust off whoever has a Heineke Commanders jersey. You could just dust off the whole jersey and just get that.
Yeah, for sure. I want him back. And it's not even just because of the fan nostalgia. I mean, that's a big part of it. I ain't going to lie to you. But I'm not really comfortable with either one of those guys. But as you and Lou both said, like, hopefully it doesn't even get to that point whatsoever. But to close out the show, because I know some people had some questions, more specifically about Bill, who isn't up here yet. So I'm assuming he has not picked the jersey number. But we got some changes to the jerseys, fellas, as Mariota is going back to number 8, which is a no-brainer. I mean, everybody was like, who's going to wear 8 when B-Rob is now no longer here? Yeah. And I feel like everyone kind of just forgot about Mariota.
I definitely did. I'm guilty.
Yeah, his legendary running number 8. Tyler Owens at 18, George Fenn at 77, Colson Yankoff at 80, and Javon Kinlaw at 99. And I'll start with you. Out of all the numbers, that Tyler Owens one's looking a little funky to me, man. I'm not gonna
lie. For me, you asked me which one stands out the most. Which one stands out the most to me is Colson Yankoff. To be honest with you, because I know a lot of people have been talking about who's tight end number 3, who's tight end number 4, and that's been a little bit of a debate on social media. And I think, I'm not gonna say Colson has surpassed Ben Sinnott. It's not fair to Ben Sinnott to say that because Ben Sinnott had he's actually had like some game success. It hasn't been much. He had the pass from Trustway in the NFC Championship game. He had the touchdown catch against the Panthers. So it's not much, but he's done something. You can say that. Where Colson hasn't done anything yet. He's done special teams, but I just feel like Colson, like I was there at training camp just like you won, and Colson is quick. He is fast. He's explosive. He's an athlete. Now Ben is an athlete too, but honestly, I think Colson is. I got to look at their 40 times and whatnot. I think Colson had a faster 40 time if I'm not mistaken. But Colson is an athlete, man, and I think honestly, Colson might fool around, and if he got an opportunity, he might do a little bit better than Ben, or just as good as Ben. That's all I'm going to say on that. And him getting 80, it kind of like Chris Cooley had 47 and Colson Yeager had 41. So I'm not going to say that all tight ends have to have in the 80s to be relevant, or it's like an indicator. But I do like they bumped him up to 80. I'd rather see him in 80 and 41. And I'm not a numbers guy, but I do like that. He just had a 52-yard catch. He had another good showing.
Yeah.
He's had some good practices. And there's times where Jaden was throwing him the ball in practice from what I saw too. And he's an athlete, man. He's an athlete. I'm intrigued to see if they do actually run some plays. They need to run more plays for Ben Sinnott. But I'm intrigued to see if they do actually give him an opportunity on the goal line or something like that, or like a 3rd and 4 and have him out there to move the chain. So that's actually the one I'm more intrigued about, the most intrigued.
Yeah, and Lou, you can kind of finish it off. I mean, to your point though, quickly, like Lou, last year you brought it up, like they love Kosin Yankov, and I think this year kind of just proved that with him making the 53-man roster again. So, anything you wanted to touch on about these jerseys? I mean, everyone's asking about Bill 22 and all that. I'm 32. You should have stayed 32, but
we talked about that backstage. Yeah, he had to get up off that 32. He knew it, and good for him for recognizing that 32 ain't it. Kinlaw jumping from 52 to 99 is what I love out of this group. I agree with you. Owens at 18 is weird, but I also think that's his college number. So again, I can't confirm that, but I know he wore a number like that in college. So that makes sense. Kinlaw initially was 99 in San Francisco, and the 52 just looked weird to me. So I'm glad to see him jump into the 99 jersey and maybe be able to restore some respect to it, because Cleveland Farrell he wasn't it. So hopefully Javon gets the 99 and does some justice to it.
No, for sure. But man, how time flies when you're having fun. Felt like we just fired this live stream up, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you gentlemen off and go get prepared for that great Commanders Kings show. Any final words you got for everyone out there?
Nah, man, I just want to thank every single one of y'all for supporting Juan and helping him continue to grow. Support all the Commanders, content creators out there, man. It's so many people out there doing their thing. So continue to support, and shout out to everybody that's supporting the Kings who came out to see us, man. It was so much fun, and we really, truly do appreciate all of y'all.
Thank you. Ed, anything you got to say?
Very well said. Congrats on being on Fox 5 a couple weeks ago. That's cool, man. That was dope. And I mean, Lou said it very well. Thank you guys for supporting Juan. Thank you guys for supporting us. And we'll be toasting to the regular season, and excited for another good Commander season.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. All right, King. So hopefully we get to do this again with the season coming up at some point. But you guys go have a great show, and thank you so much for stopping by, fellas.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So that is my guy Louie T and Ed Oliver, the Commanders Kings. They're about to fire up their show. But before we get up out of here, over here as well, I did want to take this time to also shout out to the Commanders Kings and their show as they're about to fire up things. Why am I lagging? I feel like I'm lagging. Okay, never mind. We're good. I think we're good. Shout out to the Commanders Kings and everything that they have going on. So make sure you guys go ahead and tap into that. But also, they want to shout out my guys, my group as well, the Burgundy Breakdown. I'm about to go fire up a live over there as well. So if you guys wanted something to watch alongside the Kings as well, don't hesitate to check us out as well. The Burgundy Breakdown, me alongside John from Ball and Burgundy Podcast and Reedy and Z. You can go ahead and subscribe to our page. We'll be live at 9:45. So you can check us out, the Burgundy Breakdown over there. But with that being said, I'll read some comments. My guy D Bosby, how you doing? Dime. Bro, I watch everything. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. How y'all feel about bringing back the old Redskin name? I think we're pretty much past that Juan, you're the man. Mr. Bojangles, you're the man. I appreciate y'all for supporting me. I appreciate y'all for supporting everyone in this community, man. And again, like I said, if you guys are just tapping in, I just had Ed Oliver and Louie T on. The Commanders Kings are about to go live. So shout out to those fellas over there for being so kind and welcome for coming on. And you also can check out the group channel that I'm a part of, the Burgundy Breakdown. We're also going to be going live at 9:45 p.m. Myself, Reedy, and Z, John from Baller Burgundy Podcast. So check us out. 32. I think he should stay in 32, man. Who's with me? Do I have any supporters? Do I have any supporters that are with me in Bill staying in 32? Please tell me I do, man. I think Bill needs to stay in that 3-2. He looks good in that 3-2. That jersey number fits him. I don't think 22 fits him. I'm not going to lie to you. I think he should stay in 32, man. I truly, truly do. I think so. Let's see what you got in the comments. 32, exactly. Exactly. Holding it down for the whole DMV Commanders content creators. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy, Big Phil VA. There we go. 32s, they coming in hard. Yes, sir. All right, cool. I feel good now, man. I feel good. I'm glad he got some support. It fits him, bro. I don't think he needs to change. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think he needs to change. I don't think so whatsoever. 32 gotta go. Nah, man, that 32 is fire, bro. That 32 is fire. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I definitely think he deserves to stay in that 30. That's like the only jersey number that I'm contemplating about. Like everything else is fine. I like Tyler Owens in 40. Honestly, if I'm being completely real with you, I like him in 40 over 18, but I understand 18, that's his nostalgia college number. So I totally get that. But I definitely would have loved to see him in that in that 40. That 40 fit him. And Kosta Yankov, I don't know, but I oddly enough like 41 and Kosta Yankov too. 22 deuce. I mean, that deuce looks sweet, but it don't fit him though. I don't think it fit him. I ain't gonna lie. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yes, rest in peace to Rick Snyder. Appreciate that. But yeah, check out the Burgundy Breakdown. Make sure you guys go sub up that group channel of mine that I'm a part of if you guys haven't already. We're trying to grow and grind that page out. Group channel, Burgundy Breakdown, great Commanders content. Myself, Reedy and Z, John from Baller Burgundy Podcast. We are on the come up when it comes to that page. New time, it's magic. I don't think that 22 is it. Exactly, Michael. Exactly. I'm glad people are starting to realize that. Now, ultimately, are we going to care? Is it going to, like, the last 22 that I remember is Evan Royster. Who remember Evan Royster in the chat? Let me see. Let me test to see if y'all really know ball. Let me see if y'all really know ball, though. Royster. Who remembers Evan Royster, bruh? Evan Royster was like that. I used to love Evan Royster, bro. Evan Royster was tough. 22. And oh yeah, Carlos Rogers too. Carlos Rogers for sure was 22 as well. 32 is strong. 32 is cool. It just don't. I feel like 32 is for a big back. Like I would rather see Chris Rodriguez in 32 in 20 or 22 than 32. 32 is strong. It's perfect for Bill, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's perfect for Bill. Perfect off the bench. Shout out to my guy Big Herb off the bench podcast. Make sure you guys go sub him up if you haven't already. 32 is a Hall of Fame number. The greats always rock 32, man. That's what I'm saying. You got Magic Johnson up there as the par owner. Man, go get that 32. Go get that 32, dog. For sure. Make sure you guys liking up the stream, subscribe. I just had Louie T, Ed Oliver, great guys, man, cool dudes, and I'm glad and happy for all their success, not only just on their personal channels, but the Commanders Kings as well. As that event that they just had was fire. Roy Halou was definitely better than Evan Royster. Don't get me wrong, I love Roy Halou too, but 22 That's where Evan Royster, bro. We had some solid backs. Evan Royster, Roy Halou. Who remembers Capri Bibbs, though? Ooh! Am I really testing the knowledge, though? Who really know about Capri Bibbs? Y'all really don't know nothing about Capri Bibbs. I ain't going to lie. Capri Bibbs was tough. Chris Thompson, Marcus Allen was 32. Yeah, bro, all the greats. Fat Rob. Matt Jones was in this. Matt Jones had a solid little run, too. Come on, so we had some solid backs. I ain't gonna lie. Not gonna hold you. But yeah. Let's see. I really don't know why my my overlay won't come up anymore. Maybe if I do it like that, and then yeah, let's see what the comments talk about, though. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, though, to the channel. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you help me reach that goal as soon as possible. Again, just had my guy Louie T and Ed Oliver on. Great guys, great OGs in the community, so shout out to them. They're firing up the Commanders King stream right about now, so shout out to everyone for staying tuned in. But man, I just want to say thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm on a journey of hopefully making this YouTube thing full-time career job by the end of this year and whatnot into the future. So I just say, if you guys give me the opportunity and chance to support, man, do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I won't let you down. I promise you, it's free to support. And it's going to be a hell of a season for myself and for the rest of the Commanders content creators, and also for the season, man. And I just want us to have fun, be safe, enjoy this year, as we're going to be on a ride, man, to that Lombardi. So that being said, as always, being boy Juan Gotti, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go join my fellas over at the Burgundy Breakdown. Come over there if you have some time to check us out. You won't be disappointed. But I love each and every one of y'all. Cheers to a great season. You know your man Juan Gotti is going to be here with the daily uploads and live streams. I'll catch y'all a little bit later. Y'all be easy. Be safe. Peace.
Ballin' like I'm D-Sean, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a line.